going to save the planet? We have a lot to do, don't we?
You know, it since the last time we talked, I am feeling even more disillusioned than I was before. The
Really?
I am. You know, I
Right.
just seeing how everything went down with the COVID relief package and how the Democrats are such pushovers really is like it hurts because I feel like anything that we want progressive to happen in the future, it's going to take so much longer. I mean, we just don't have the people in that are going to push these progressive agendas, and we're just not there. But like the world needs it, the planet needs it, the United States needs it, and we're just not there, and it's so sad. I mean,
All right. I'm going to try to make you feel not sad about it and
okay,
hopeful.
make me not sad.
Because, okay, first of all, the majority of the people aren't progressive. So rather than get upset about something that we have very little control over,
Hmm.
that the fact that we're getting it passed is like, whoa.
For sure. I mean, I agree. Something is better than nothing, especially since what we came from. But it's just we're in such a divided nation right now.
Oh,
And
for sure.
you
And for
know,
many years to come.
absolutely. I don't even see a possible way out of this at this point. You know, I just because we're so divided. I mean, you know, I was talking to a friend today and we were talking about just this, that you know, during a moment like COVID-19, during this entire pandemic, you would have thought that we could have like had one common like story as a nation, right? Like one common thread that kind of like tied us together. And, you know, we all went through this together. We all, you know, believed in it together. We all had to outcome it. But we are so divided. There's so many damn stories out there and conspiracies and all sorts of things. We're on 20 different pages right now. It feels much worse than it probably is. You know, I mean,
Agreed.
it's
Agreed.
hard not to feel optimistic all the time.
No,
Um,
agreed.
but the thing is, I'm here for the fight. I always will be here for the fight. I have to fight for my children. I will fight for, you know, everybody, even if they take my videos down on TikTok, which they do when I try.
I mean,
I mean,
they took down, I did a post on Donald Trump today and like they
mhm.
took it down because I was bullying him. So when I responded to them, I was like, how do you consider the biggest bully on earth me being able to bully? You know what I mean? I could
um,
never out bully him.
honestly, that is like the one thing about Donald Trump that I seriously, the hypocrisy, the freaking be best movement by Melania. I mean, she could have picked almost anything, but she chose online bullying, and her husband is the most like horrendous online bully of all times. It's so insane.
Plus, she never really did any events or activations to kind of counter it. You know what I mean?
No.
It was just such a weird, you know what? They're so weird. A
Yes,
whole
they
bunch of
are
them. They're
so
so
freaking
weird.
weird, Abe.
Did you did
Absolutely.
you see the press release that he put? You know, now that he can't tweet, he puts out these statements through the media. Did you see the new one that came
I
out this
did not know.
evening?
Tell me about it.
You saw at CPAC, he was like, "Oh, I'm
Yes.
not going to start another party. It's all about the Republicans, and we're going to do this together." He
Yeah, yeah.
sent out a release today boycotting the RNC. Do not send money to the RNC. Send all your donations to DonaldJTrump.com.
What a grifter. What a grifter this mother. Oh
It's
my
so
god.
fantastic.
You
Could you
cannot
imagine? We're going to be watching these fucking Trumpers like doing the dance of the seven veils, like, ooh.
raining money on Trump. I mean, at the strip club. I mean,
Oh
what
my
is this?
God.
That is how
It's
people, I
unbelievable.
mean, like you said, I mean, they are just Looney Tune. I mean, they're the fact that they're sending him money and he's supposed to be this like billionaire. He's a grifter. He literally is just going to suck them dry.
They're
And there are
never going
these,
to learn.
they're never going to learn. And I there's a part of me that feels bad for them, that they're so ignorant and so uneducated that this is how they choose to spend their money and choose to worship this man. But at the other time, I'm like, the time for feeling bad for them is gone.
Well, the thing is, I can understand you wanting to feel empathy because they don't, right?
Little bit.
But the thing is, it's sadder than that because they're it's like they all have been like universally emotionally and physically abused
Absolutely, yeah.
to bring them to this point. You know what I'm saying? So it's almost like that's what makes them more dangerous because
It's it's the constant gaslighting
mm,
and the constant making them question their reality with his lies. I
yeah,
mean, that is a psychological like torment. That's abuse, absolutely, Abe.
yeah,
I mean,
horrible.
lying to people and still doubling down on the big lie and going. I mean, it will never go away.
No, no, no. And the thing is, it's going to be like bad air in a way, just because
Mhm.
it's going to be wafting around. You're just going to ignore it. But I try to remember. I remember how freaked out we were when the Tea Party people were walking around with tea bags on their hats. Like they disappeared too. So I feel like it's the same ilk. It's the same crazy, innately like part of like these people that call themselves Christians, but they do everything unchristian like.
Yeah.
It's
But
just
the right wing media though is getting worse and worse right now. Like, for a long time, even these crazy, we're talking the crazy Q supporters, they jumped ship even off out of Fox because that wasn't crazy enough for them. And so now they're just pandering to them and trying to get them back and saying whatever they can. I mean, the lies that are just spewing out of their mouth. I mean, just in this last week, it was like an attack on the liberal media. It was like the libs are trying to cancel Mr. Potato Head. They're trying to cancel Dr. Seuss. I mean, out of all things. And it was like, no, they're not. Like it flat out lies, but it made sense to them. So it's like they're just making an army here
well, they're
and
not
making it
stupid.
worse.
Okay, listen, they're not stupid because to market Dr. Seuss and Mr. Potato Head to that crowd is because those people have the mentality of people reading Dr. Seuss for the first time and playing with Mr. Potato Head. You know what I'm
Absolutely.
saying? They're
I
like
know.
they haven't grown beyond age 7.
We rely on science, we rely on facts, we vet our information, and these people listen to any Billy Bob Joe who comes on the internet and tells them what's up.
But it's
And
but it's all borderline. It's just millions of it's criminal minds. It's criminal. We're living amongst millions of criminals now.
absolutely.
And so the only way we can deal with that is to constantly be voting.
Hmm.
The only thing we have is like as much as everyone's crazy and everything like that, and we had the insurrection, whatever. I mean, say what you want about Joe Biden and his administration, shit's happening.
Well, he just did the executive order on the HR1, right?
Right. But he's
And
trying. I mean, it's
oh, he's
gonna.
trying. Yeah, they're trying to. And seeing what's happening around the country with how each state is really trying to, not each state, but
No, there's
a
like
handful of
32
states.
states.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a handful of states. They're really trying their best to make it so people can't vote. I
Yeah.
mean, they know, the Republicans know, and they've said it out loud a million times. They would never have majority anymore if people actually could vote. They'd never see another president again if people could vote. Um,
You know what? We just
it's
have to
just,
work.
it's criminal. It's criminal.
Yeah. But the thing is, people just have to work harder to go for their vote. Like, I get it. Let's make it easier for people. I am all for that. That's been my mission for the past year and a half.
Yeah.
But, or since I'm 18. But the thing is that if people have to work harder to get it, then just have to work harder to get it.
Well,
No.
Lord Timotheus was on the show last Friday. We were talking about this, and he's like, because this is geared absolutely towards, people of
Black
color and
people.
minority.
Right.
Absolutely. 100%. And he was like, you know what? They're going to go out and vote anyways. They will
Hmm.
try and
I saw
suppress
that. Yeah.
them, and they will try to suppress them, and they will come out and vote. And I'm like, you know what? That's the right attitude to have, to believe that people will do what they need to do. They will try all they might to, snuff people out, but they can't do it. They're
No,
not
no,
going to
no.
do
I
it.
mean,
People are going to come out still.
of course, and 2022 and 2024, you're going to see the progression of young people, people of color, Native Americans, because it's all kind of leaning, finally, it's all about them.
Yeah,
Finally, we're talking about them being the more important people.
absolutely.
Finally, that's what has to become and continue to become our focus as allies, to make sure that we're messaging to make them feel empowered.
Yes.
That is
And
what we have to do. And that's why I am so optimistic. And I
yes.
just think that, we could, there's no way that these Trumpers are going to be the majority. They're never going to get 81 million of those people.
No, no. But
No.
the fact that they're there and they're becoming more radicalized. And that's the only thing that I think is scary, because obviously they don't think clearly, and they're just going to cause trouble. I mean, I believe it will cause a lot of trouble, whether it's, violence, whether it's, you know, causing issues. They're just gonna cause trouble because they're radicalized and they don't have a clear path, except that they want Donald Trump or whomever in office, and they believe that is their only way. We're totally preoccupied, fighting over Cuomo, or you know stupid inconsequential stuff,
Yeah,
right?
because that's the media. The media is just
Yes.
deflecting from the things that really matter.
And I think that's what we need to focus on. And we want to go talk about saving the world, is sticking to the things make that will make a
Yeah.
difference.
I mean, my
Like
biggest
maybe
thing,
clearing away the noise, right? Clearing the
yeah,
noise.
we have to at least try.
Well, and we talked about messaging last time. Make messages clear from the Democrats, those 3-word lines, right?
Mhm.
Make that clear. Clear the noise away. Stick to the topics that matter, not to this frivolous stuff that just keeps us like
Yeah, no, no, no,
in a
no.
circle.
It's a deflection. It's a
Yeah,
device. It's a device for clickbait. It's all clickbait, clickbait, clickbait.
absolutely, Abe. You've already changed my life.
No,
See, it can happen in
well, I
just
mean,
an
I
hour.
look to you as a source of light, your energy, and I can't. It's not acceptable for you to be thinking that the cup
I
is
try
half
to be
empty.
mostly
The,
positive.
no, no, the cup is half full. We have to always do that. We have to remember that. That's the most important thing.
You are so right. You are so very right. I love you for that.
Mwah. I love you, sweetheart.
All right, bye, Abe.
Hi, honey.